All right, let's finish off our agenda here with the conversation that everybody's talking about. The conversation everybody's got their eyes on, the one we're all waiting for, the one we're all waiting for a text to get. I know at some point I'm going to get the text that says Justin Fields, XX. Those X's are years and dollars. And when it comes, Steelers' entire world changes real fast. In the meantime, we wait. It's Justin Fields watch, and we're getting closer to a deal by the day. I will say the biggest update is, well, the Steelers are looking at rookie quarterbacks, and they brought in a guy who, I had issues with the other day because I said he wouldn't tell me if he met with the Steelers at the NFL Combine. I don't like that. Let everybody know. But the Steelers have some interest in him. Apparently, if they're using a top 30 visit on him, they're bringing in Louisville's Tyler Shuck, who is not spelled like Shuck at all. It is spelled like Shaw. Everybody talks about him as though his name is Tyler Shaw or Show or whatever it is. It's Shuck. It's Tyler Shuck. Guy who played at Oregon, played at his second
A&M.
team was Texas A&M. Thank you. Finishes at Louisville, dealt with some injuries. Means absolutely nothing to the starting job for the Steelers, but is a development in their situation and how they're looking at things. They want a young guy. They're making it very clear that they want a draft pick to be a quarterback this year. They're not going to miss on one. Now, is that going to come in the 5th round with a guy like Tyler Shuck? Maybe. Is it going to come earlier with a name like Will Howard or Quinn Ewers or Jalen Milroe? Maybe, but it's clear as day that the Pittsburgh Steelers want somebody that they can see what he becomes in 2 years. On the other side of this, Justin Fields and his expectations, according to reports that emerged today out of, I apologize, Yahoo Sports. Don't know the name, but Yahoo Sports. That's on me. That the Steelers want a shorter-term deal for Justin Fields. I could have told you that one. But shorter term probably doesn't mean a 1-year deal. Art Rooney's made that very clear. Omar Khan's made that very clear. They want something that they can have as tangible. This is 2+ years. We have some sort of future within this deal. I get it that if you aren't around the Pittsburgh Steelers every day, that short is 2 years, and you're going, oh, that's a shorter term deal. That's a pretty decent deal for what the Steelers have been doing at quarterback the past couple of years. I think it's a 2-year deal for Justin Fields. That's what I'm looking at. 2 years. I would imagine the tie-up is that Justin wants more money. That's what we're waiting for. In the meantime, the Steelers are bringing in quarterbacks, and they are not afraid to hide them because on day one, they brought in a guy that I think is rising up draft boards very quickly. Very quickly. Tyler Shuck, outside of his name being spelt wrong, your thoughts? And Justin Fields, 2-year deal. That's a reasonable deal for Justin Fields. That's what he should be looking for. That's what the Steelers should be looking for. If it's longer than that, I think there are questions to Justin's side of it. If it's shorter than that, there's questions to the Steelers side of it. 2 years gives everybody what they need: money and time, and the opportunity to figure everything out before the end of 2026, which that's the thing is, if Justin plays really, really well, okay, in the first year, in 2025, you break your rule of we don't negotiate in season and you sign this guy to a contract extension in week 11. That's what you do. Because if you wait until week 17 and Justin looks phenomenal, you've just spent $15 million more a year on a quarterback. And that is not something that you should be able to do. I'm saying a 2-year deal is pretty good. Tyler Shuck interests me. I don't think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL in year 1. I doubt it's in year 2, but it is a name that the Steelers are looking to bring in. They have made it very clear they want a quarterback. That is not Justin Fields. That is younger than Justin Fields, and that is going to be their quarterback room. Justin Fields updates. Your thoughts?
Tyler Shuck, in my eyes, is not a future starter either. I mean, the guy is born in the same year as Justin Fields. They're both 25 years old right now. So you're not bringing him in to be a young buck that's going to learn and potentially grow. You're bringing him in to say, hey, this guy that was in college for 7 years, he's your backup. Like that's essentially what you're saying is you're bringing him in not to develop into anything. He's developed. He is what he is. He's 25 years old. Yeah, you might be able to raise the ceiling a little bit, but he's coming in here to be a rookie backup quarterback and start his career as a clipboard holder. Now, could he break out of that and shove it in my face? Yeah, sure. There's always that opportunity. Maybe he makes the jump from college football to the NFL, and he's a long-awaited guy that is better in the NFL than he was in college. Maybe. Who knows? But to me, Tyler Shuck is somebody that they would bring in simply to say, well, we didn't want to bring in Jacoby Brissett as a backup, so we brought in Tyler Shuck. Now, Shuck is a big man, 6'5". He is Big Ben sized, and he has a big arm.
Let me be honest.
He's 6'5", but he's not as heavy. It's not.
I was going to say, I saw him in person. He ain't Big Ben.
No,
Big Ben walks in the room. You go, that's a big boy. It's a big guy right there. You know,
height wise. Yeah, and he's 225, so it's not like he's a thin character either. He's a large human being with a large arm. You bring him in, he's a backup quarterback. It's a late round pick. Sure, you do that instead of, like we mentioned earlier in the week, instead of bringing in the veteran, you want to maybe go with some young guys and see what Tom Arth can do as that quarterback coach. See if he can get something out of this kid out of Louisville that you haven't seen in his 7 years in college. So it feels like the Steelers are saying, hey, if we don't get the exact backup we want, we're not just going to peruse the market and say, yeah, that guy will work. They're going to bring in a young guy and say, let's see what we can do to work with this kid to see if we can get anything extra out of him. And if he gets into a game, there's a lack of tape on him, and we think that maybe, just maybe, we can get it to where the fall off isn't as severe as going from a Justin Fields to a Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, look at I think the Steelers' top option right now is a rookie backup. I think that's what they want to happen, because I think they realize what everybody else realizes, and that's that this rookie class doesn't have a starter in the third round. It's not, they're not going to go get that guy. But this rookie class has, we've talked about this many times, this rookie class has guys in the third and fourth and fifth round that match there's some development left, and you could draft this guy with some upside. You could draft this guy to be a backup. You could draft this guy to be reliable. Like, that's what you're getting. You're not looking for a franchise quarterback, so there's no pressure. The pressure is, can you develop them? And that's what these middle-class guys in the NFL draft bring. And the Steelers, I think, see that. They want, if I had to guess, the Steelers' top option for a backup quarterback right now is a rookie. I'm not saying it's Tyler Shuck, but it's just a rookie in general, and then Skylar Thompson. And that could change. Daniel Jones becomes available and makes himself known to the Steelers. That's a backup you're not going to ignore. Like, I get it, it's Daniel Jones, but he was the 5th pick in the draft. So teams are going to look at that and say, he was the 5th pick in the draft. He's 27 years old. You have to try it. You can't just ignore this guy. Now, if this was his 3rd team removed, you move on. But this is his 2nd team removed. He was at the Giants, who stink. He was at the Giants long enough to earn a long-term deal worth quite a bit of money over Saquon Barkley. I get it, but he was there long enough to prove that. You take a flyer. As a backup quarterback, you take a flyer and you hope that maybe something great happens, just like you did with Dwayne Haskins back in the day, just like you continued to do with guys like Mitch Trubisky, and then giving Mason Rudolph a shot, and then putting Kenny Pickett out there as the 20th pick in the NFL draft. These are all guys that you looked at and said, you got to take a shot on them. You just got to take a shot on it. I could see that developing, but right now, if I had to guess, it's Justin Fields and a rookie. And Tyler Shuck is climbing up the board. He is. He's got to be. He's was the talk of the town in Indy as the quote-unquote most interesting quarterback that there was. That's crazy for a dude who's 25, who's been injured half his career and played everywhere, and is the most interesting quarterback in the combine. He's going to go in the 4th round. Like, how did we get there? I mean, I don't hate it though. To be honest, I don't hate it. I like the idea of Justin Fields in a backup. When will Justin Fields sign? I don't know, but I think we're getting closer by the minute. I would be stunned if they go the whole weekend without a Justin Fields deal. To be honest, I'm stunned that we're here on Thursday night and there's no deal. There's, at some point, they got to ink them. Like, it's got to come down to dollars and cents right now. Otherwise, we would hear that. If these two sides were very far apart, Adam Schefter would have gotten word from Justin Fields' agent that they're far apart, that this is not a close deal. So the fact that we're not hearing anything has to indicate they're close.
Yeah, they'd send up the bat signal to other teams like, hey, prepare your offers because we're going to be there on Tuesday or Monday or whenever it is. Like that, we haven't heard that yet, which means it feels like they're closer than you would imagine.
Yes, they're not. There are gaps, obviously. Like they're not super close. Maybe they are, but they're within one of these gaps before it hits not close. The not close bat signal. That's when things are rough. You haven't heard that yet, so you got to think that the two sides are somewhat close to a deal. I'm shocked that it hasn't happened. I expect it to happen this weekend, but we'll see what happens. For right now, Tyler Shuck, name to learn how to spell and to at the same time learn how to say, because it's both of those things are wrong. They're both wrong. So hopefully, I hope everybody, how they called him Najee forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope everybody does the same with Tyler Shuck. And I'm the only one there who calls him the right name, as the guy who never pronounces names right. I hope that I get to wear that crown for one
I would
time.
I would hope if they draft a quarterback that somebody would at the very least look up one highlight where they say his name, which is Tyler.
Do you know how many times Najee said my name is Najee, not Najee, that my name is Najee out loud to a group of us, and then was immediately called Najee by somebody in the media? Like, so many times. I felt so bad for the guy. Tyler Shuck, there's no chance they're not calling him Tyler Shaw. So shout out Tyler Shuck.